Just a few boneheaded walking, talking
We having a wife and
Neanderthals.
kid is really hampered by our friendship.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I didn't do it on purpose.
Oh, because you wanted to be happy. Have a family.
I mean, you can't just get rid of it.
All right, I'm out of here. I think I did my part. See you in 20 years.
Well, we're live now, by the way.
Oh, good. All right. So none of those jokes made it in.
No,
Nice.
all of those made it in.
Oh, okay. Good. I want those in. I want Isabella to know how I truly feel about her. Yeah. That's why I'm gonna bring her a fucking T-shirt that's like,
I hate you.
it just says I hate you. No, that's funny. So, well, I feel like we haven't done one of these in a hot second. I feel like I've been saying that a lot lately, though. So maybe this is just our new normal. Is
Once in a while.
yeah, spacing these out. I think once a month is probably a good goal for us to aim for.
Yeah, probably.
Because even when we were doing it every week, I was kind of like, I don't know how long we can do this for. How long we can keep that pace up. But
Lord only knows. Sorry, I was getting the music ready. But yeah, I don't know. Once a month is a good. I think it's good.
Yep, it's good. Okay, so I've been waiting. I've been waiting to tell you about this for the podcast. So
Tell me about your life.
This is what our friendship has been reduced to. Like, don't tell me. Wait until the podcast. We need to record it. Don't tell me anything about your life until the podcast. Like, what'd you do? Can't talk about it.
Yep. Zip.
We're just coworkers at this point.
Damn. Demean down to coworkers. We were friends once.
Now we're just doing the
We're
podcast.
just coworkers.
I'll see you on podcast day. Okay, so hunting trip. So this past weekend, and so actually it's Friday to Monday. I was there Friday, Monday. So what happened? Let me back up a little bit. Weekend before last weekend, your brother sends me a text. He's like, "Hey boss, we're shooting ducks. You want to come?" And at the time I was busy. I was like, I can't come this weekend, but I'm totally down to do next weekend. He's like, all right, bet. So I drove down Friday. Like Friday morning, I drove to Corpus, and then I grabbed all my hunting shit, and then I drove out to the refuge, and I got there about like 6 or 7 o'clock Friday. So your brother had already had the spot he wanted to go to in mind, which is a wildlife refuge, or WMA, I should say, not too far away. And I guess he had buddies that were already, like, he had met hunting there, and they were going to be out there on Saturday anyways, because this was one of my first experience hunting on a WMA, at least duck hunting. And what I didn't know is how it works, how your spots work, right? So you go out there, and there's plaques with numbers on them for each parking spot. And then if you park in that spot, that plaque corresponds to a plaque out in the marsh, which designates that area.
That
right?
is not.
So, like,
that's not every WMA though. Just so you know.
Okay. Well, that's how the two that are over there work.
Yeah.
So we got there. Well, first thing your brother said to me when I got there was like, all right, we're waking up at 3:30. And I was like, holy shit, that's early, but all right, bet. And we ended up staying up till like midnight or something. But woke up. Actually, we didn't wake up at 3:30. Your brother said wake up at 3:30. I said, all right. Set my alarm at 3:30. Alarm goes off. I get up, like I sit up out of bed and I look around. I'm like, all right, maybe Matt's he's not up yet, you know. I wait a few minutes, never comes out. I'm like, all right, I guess we'll just go a little later. And I'll preface this by saying your brother had gotten home like when I got there, which was at like 6 or 7, and I guess he had been working like a 12-hour shift because they were doing a controlled burn that day. So the brother was worn out. So anyway. 3:30 comes, goes. I go back to bed. I wake up again, just like naturally at 4:30. And I'm like, all right, 4:30. Still no sign of Matt. And I'm like, okay, should I get up? Because I was thinking, like, if I just get up to go pee right now, he'll probably wake up and then we'll go, but I don't really know. And I kind of just sat there on my phone for a second, kind of waiting for Matt to wake up. And then, like, close to 5 o'clock, Matt comes out. And I was like, all right, let's go. Man, that was at 3:30. And He was like, yeah, I was tired, just overslept. And we drive out to the spot, and the guy that he's friends with and all his dudes, like there was I don't even know, like 10 or 11 dudes out there were already there, parked and like setting up, ready to go. And one of the spots at the refuge is like the primo spot, number 32. And that's where that guy was parked, and most of his friends were like going together. So Matt pulls up and he calls the guy. He's like, hey, man, where you guys sitting? Where should we sit? All that blah, blah, blah. And basically, in the end, is we all ended up sitting on 32, just in different areas, like spread out across 32. That way, none of us had to hunt like shitty ground, which worked for me. So, ended up, me and your brother set up on one side, 4 guys, including the friend, on one side in the middle, and then 3 guys on the far other side. So, like 3 guys on the left, 4 guys in the middle, and then me and your brother on the right.
You just surrounded them.
It's basically shit. So got out there, set the decoys, which was a whole other thing. Is like your brother would not let me help at all, like anything.
So he's very particular about his decoys.
Well, he's got this. So we're getting stuff ready, and we're walking out in the marsh, and I'm like, "You want help carrying anything?" He's like, "Nah, got it." Get out there, unloading the sled, and I'm like undoing the decoys to start checking them out. And I think I said like, how do you want your spread or whatever? He's like, don't worry about it, don't touch it. I'll figure it out. I'm like, all right, bet. So it's basically like a guy that your brother wanted to do everything. Like I don't even think I got up to go grab ducks or anything because we had a dog too. We had Nellie, which is Junior's dog.
Nelly.
And she's a good dog. Holy shit.
Oh yeah. She's
a very. I mean, talking to Junior, it cost him a little chunk of change, but I'd say it's worth it. She's a great dog. But so anyway, set up. And then we're set up, ready to go, like 15 minutes before shooting light. And about 5 minutes before shooting light, a shoveler lands in our spread. And Matt's like, all right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to pull out the time, and as soon as it hits time, you're just going to water swat that bitch.
What?
So
he told you to just water swat it?
So he's got his phone out, and like shooting lights.
Oh, no.
Shooting lights like 51. And I've got my shotgun. I got my shotgun in my shoulder, like just ready, aiming at it. And he goes 51, and I bam, bam. So shot the first duck
on the water,
and then
yeah, I'm so disappointed.
I didn't knock it dead with my first shot. So it got up, and
you only crippled it. You only crippled it on the water, and it got. That's even worse. You didn't even kill it. You missed it.
I didn't miss it. I hit it.
What is wrong with you?
One of the problems we were having most of the days, they were landing outside our spread, so we were having a hard time like not getting cripples. But not even like 2 or 3 minutes later, a group of like 15 teal come in.
Hold on, real quick. Isabella, yeah. If you're listening to this, we do not water swat. Okay? We don't do it.
I don't know why he's acting like he's whole highfalutin right now for the podcast.
I have never water swatted a duck in my life.
He would water swat a duck in a
Wouldn't do it. I have water swatted coots, but not ducks.
Isabel, he's talking so much game right now, but he almost killed my dad.
That is also not true.
Almost killed my dad.
Gun never came off safe.
Almost killed him. So anyway.
Also, one thing real quick. Isabella is a month old today. All right, go ahead.
Wait, 19th? I thought she was 21st.
I don't know. Sarah came in here and told me she's a month old. Go ahead.
All right. Okay, so a group of teal come in, and I'm letting Matt call the shots. You know, I'm like, just tell me when to take it, and I'll pop up. And he goes, take them. So pop up, bam, 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 drop 2, and the rest fly off. Right. So there's two on the water. And I'm thinking, I'm replaying this in my head. And this is obviously like 5 seconds. I'm replaying it in my head. I'm like, okay, I definitely shot that one. I definitely thought I shot that one. So then I look over at Matt, and Matt's looking at me, and he's like, my shotgun wasn't loaded. I didn't load his shells. He didn't shoot any of the teal. His shotgun wasn't loaded. He didn't load up because he was doing the time thing for.
So you got both of them?
Yeah.
Oh, very impressive. That almost makes up for you water swatting.
Oh, well, we were hitting some pretty good shots this trip. We shot 2 gadwalls. I'll get to that later. Anyway, so So I dropped 2 teal, and I'm like, I'm 99% sure I shot both those. And then I look at Matt, and he's like, yeah, my shotgun wasn't loaded. And the funniest part about that is on Monday when Junior got back, I told Junior this story, and I'm not even kidding. Like every 15 minutes, Junior was talking mad shit about Matt. He was like, boy, you can't aim for shit. And then Matt be like, no, you can't aim for shit. He'd be like, well, at least my shotgun's fucking loaded or something like that. Like every 15 minutes, he was just giving him hell. And I'm dying laughing. It was so good. So good. But, so that group of teal come in. So this is, I'm already halfway to a limit now. I got 3 ducks. Halfway to a limit. It's not even 10 minutes past shooting light. Then we get a slow rest of the morning after that. And your brother had already told me that they were waking up. Like most of the gadwalls and widgeon were coming off the bay later in the day. Like he was saying they didn't shoot any till like 10 o'clock. So I had already anticipated being slow until later in the day. So that's why I was surprised that I've already shot 3. And then I think in between then and when it picked up around like 9:30, I think your brother shot a shoveler that came in, just a stray shoveler. But yeah, so about 9:30 starts picking up. And also, let me say this: everybody's not everybody. We got the 3 groups, right? On the left, the middle, and then us on the right. So I shot those 3 early, and that was before anybody had shot anything. And by 9:30, the middle group had killed, I don't know, I want to say like a few shoveler, maybe some widgeon. And then the left group hasn't shot anything, which is hilarious. And then about 9:30 picks up, and we start getting good amounts of gadwall coming in. And then I shot 2 more gadwalls. So I ended up with 3, 4, 5 ducks that day, I think, which wasn't bad. And obviously the guys in the middle are killing them too. The middle was definitely the spot. Like there was 4 of those guys, so there's 4 guns, which is more than 2 if you can do math.
So I've been told.
So they're killing more ducks when their groups come in. But in the end, they ended up with 9 and we ended up with 6, which isn't too far off for having double the amount of guns. Right. So we shoot some gads. Ended up being a great hunt. I had a blast. We trudge back out of the marsh to the car, and we meet up with everybody, and that's when we're like, how many did you get? We got 6. They got 9. The group on the left come up later, and we're like, how many did you guys get? And they're like, 1. And I remember talking to Matt while we were out there, like, I don't think I've heard the group on the left shoot at all yet. So they definitely got fucked over that spot. They weren't. What happened was there was a raft of like 80 coots sitting over by them, and they were peeling ducks off, and that group wasn't close enough for them to shoot at. So,
see, I'd have walked over those coots and just started bam, bam, bam.
Well, what's funny is they waited till 11:30 to do that, and Matt and I were like, "Why'd they wait so long to walk over there?" Because we had to be out of there by noon. Mm-hmm. I think we ended up walking out of there like 11:30.
Why'd you have to be out by noon?
That's the rules of that place.
Really?
Yeah, you can't hunt past noon. So, and what's hilarious is the ducks definitely fucking know that, because as soon as we packed up and it hit like 12 o'clock on the dot, rafts and rafts of gadwalls, hundreds and hundreds of gadwalls, most gadwalls I've ever seen, start bombing right where we were hunting. Like I could have shot a limit in 5 seconds had we waited till noon, if we were allowed to hunt past noon,
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's just been a lot of pressure on him at that spot, and that's what your brother was telling me. Like he literally had hunted it the weekend before, so that spot's probably just a little played out. So anyway, yeah, that was a good hunt. Oh, I should back up though. So Friday night, or was it Saturday night? No, okay, never mind. So everything's happened as I've said it. So throw the ducks in the freezer or fridge, come back to the house, watch a little bit of college football, and then we go out to eat at one of the 2 restaurants in Tyvola with this guy named Clement. Now, Clement's like a 63, 64-year-old like landowner out there, like just down the street from the refuge. He owns bayfront property, like millions of dollars. But he's like old school, like old fucking small town Texas guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was telling us stories while we were eating at this restaurant where everybody knows everybody. Like the restaurant owner was coming up talking to us, that kind of stuff. It was bring your own beer. I brought Shiner, and we're eating steaks. And he's just telling us stories that me and your brother are fucking dying laughing. Like he told one story where he was taking a guy hunting for the first time, duck hunting, and they were out in the marsh. and the guy is sitting there with Clement, and a crop duster's flying around. And the guy's going to Clement. He's like, man, that guy's flying awfully low and close. Are we going to, like, we're not going to shoot any ducks with him flying around like that? And Clement's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And the crop duster keeps getting closer and closer and closer. And the guy's like, we're not going to shoot anything with this fucking guy flying around. Clement's like, don't worry about it. And then about like 4 minutes before shooting, like the crop duster comes right over them. And the guy's like, what the fuck? And he drops a load of corn right in front of him over the water.
That's awesome.
And the guy looks at Clement and he goes, I like the way you hunt. But he's just telling dumb stories like that. He's telling us stories like one year they shot like 90 geese in one hunt.
That's a lot of geese.
That's back in the Wild West, back then when there's no fucking... Because out there still, like, you know, small town Texas, not a lot of people, not a lot of eyes. But, you know, obviously I can't imagine what it was like back then when fucking nobody was out there. So, yeah, that was the first day. Had a blast. Drank some. A little more than I should have, probably. But had steak, telling stories. Had a fucking blast. So then, that was Saturday. So then Sunday we woke up at 3:30, like when we were supposed to. And we went out to the same WMA. We just hunted a different spot. We went on the backside of the poles instead of the side. And this was a slow day. I think that spot, I think you better not determine that spot was just played out. This time of the, like, so late in the season, how many people have been hunting there? The weather's not amazing. And that was kind of a far walk. Actually, funny story. So we pull up at like 4, and we wanted to hunt that Primo spot that I mentioned that the friend was parked at the first morning. Because we knew he wasn't going to be there, so we're like, all right, we're going to wake up at 3:30, get there at 4, which is when you're supposed to enter the WMA. You're not supposed to enter before 4. And we show up thinking, all right, we're going to get the Primo spot, and there's fucking car already there. 2 cars. And
they were there before 4?
Yeah, we think they camped out there, slept in their car.
Someone call a game warden.
Yeah,
Get fucking boys.
So anyway, we ended up not hunting that spot, obviously, because there's people there. So we ended up going to another spot. And people are showing up, you know, to get their spots. And these guys park next to us, so they're going to be next to us out in the marsh. And they leave as soon as they get there. It's like 5 o'clock. Your brother and I were like, let's just wait till 6 to walk out there. Like, no reason to sit in the dark for 2 hours when we can sit in the car and listen to the radio. So those boys leave. And we start walking out there. We're like, man, that light awfully looks close to where we're supposed to be hunting. And sure enough, we get out there, and those boys are sitting on our spot. Now, let me preface this by saying your brother, like, fucking beelines it for them. And your brother's obviously in much better physical condition than I am. So I'm, like, halfway there, like, huffing and puffing, which was the theme of those 2 hunts, is, like, just walking down the marsh. I'm just going slower than your brother. The first walk wasn't bad at all. Like, I actually wasn't far behind your brother, if behind your brother at all. I was just, when I got to the spot, I was breathing a little heavy, and your brother's already, like, moving shit. Second day, the hunt, that spot we were going to, the fucking muck was insane. It was, like, up to my knees. I'm literally pulling my waders out with my hands. Like, I'm pulling my legs out and walking like that, and your brother's just fucking trudging out there. So I didn't actually hear the conversation, because I was still walking over there when he was talking to the boys. But basically, they, like, didn't know what was going on, didn't know, like, what spot they were supposed to be, or where the spot they were supposed to be at was, and your brother had a map and everything. So those boys ended up having to pick up all their shit and walk into their spot, which was kind of funny.
Bunch of rookies.
So it got set up, and that ended up being a slow morning. We ended up shooting. I shot a gadwall and a teal. Yeah, your brother shot a gadwall and a teal, and I shot a gadwall and a teal. Basically, the first part of the morning, didn't see shit. Like, ducks were flying. They just weren't coming in. Not a lot of ducks, I should say, but ducks were flying. And then, like, randomly at 9:30, 2 gadwalls came in, but they didn't actually come in. They kind of just flew over us, and your brother was like, fuck it, shoot them. So we popped up, and they split left to right, these 2 gadwalls that were flying together. So, obviously, we just naturally, I shot the one on the right, he shot the one on the left. So it was just bam, bam, and then smacked the water. So
I thought you were going to say you smacked each other.
No, we just fucking hit each other. No. He shot once, dropped his. I shot once, dropped mine. They just smacked the water because they were so high up, you know? And then, like, 30 minutes before we were going to leave, the ducks started getting going again, which is just like I said. Like, they got to know that spot now. 12 o'clock, they're good. So that's how we ended up getting 2 teal. They just randomly, right before we were leaving, came in and we shot them. Yeah, blues. First day I shot greens and blues, and then this time I shot blues. Yeah, that group that came in early in the morning was green wings, and then later on I shot a blue wing. I can't even remember exactly how many ducks I shot that day. I think your brother shot 2, and I must have shot 4 then because we shot 6 total. I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. So, second day, do that, go back, take a nap, watch football, and then Junior shows up about 2:00, and this is when things start getting kooky. Because Junior's a fucking hoot, man.
Oh, yeah.
That guy's awesome. He shows up and he's like, let's go fuck with Clement or whatever. So we just start driving around in Junior's truck, like just checking out spots, going to Clement's house, fucking with him. The dude drank like 7 tall boys
Junior?
over the course of the night. Yeah, we get in the truck and he's like drinking one. He's drinking while he's driving. Drinking a tall boy while he's driving us around. Fucking hilarious. Go over to Clement's. Oh, dude. Clement had this thing where it was his phone. He's obviously an older guy, but he was like doing this text-to-speech thing, so it was talking every time he did something. It was like, swipe right, swipe left, messages, Claire, like doing this shit. And he was like, Matt, this bitch won't leave me alone. Can you fix it? And the next day when we go to see Clement again, he's like, the bitch is back, and throws his phone at Matt. It's so funny. So... yeah, Saturday we just ended up hanging out, drinking. We went to the only other restaurant in Taiwola, which was fun. And then that night we were talking to Junior's talking to Clement. He was like, "Hey, can the boys and I hunt one of your private lakes or one of your ponds? You know, he's got a lake and some ponds."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Sure, whatever, man, you do you." So very gracious with his property and his time. So not Sunday morning. We're now to Monday morning. Monday morning, we get up at like fucking 5:45 or something. Which another thing was Junior drank like more than your brother and I did for sure that night, and he was the first one up. And he was like, "You boys ready to go?" And I was like, "Damn, this brother just drank the equivalent of like 11 beers last night, and he's fucking revving to go." So load up Junior's truck, and we drive out of Clement's property, and we basically just drive up to the lake, like just drive right up to it. Unload the truck, chuck the shit out. Junior drives the truck off. I'm sitting there ready to go. Didn't even fucking move my legs at all. And I was like, this is the way to do it. This is the life. You need this private lake spot is what you need. Like this shit is way better. I don't got to worry about hunters like shooting when I got birds coming in and flaring them off, which happened to us while we were hunting at the WMA. Actually, I got a picture of that spot we were hunting. Let me send it to the Discord. But, yeah, we ended up hunting that morning. Unfortunately, we didn't get any birds, though. There wasn't anything flying. And I was talking to your brother while we were sitting there, like, it's not managed for duck hunting, but if you did manage it for duck hunting, holy shit, this would be like one of the honey holes of honey holes.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing that really happened was, do I put it in Tarkov maps? I guess it doesn't matter.
No,
right?
go ahead and TikToks for Caleb.
TikToks for Caleb. Okay. I think that worked. Did that work?
I don't see anything. Oh, there it is.
So that's the spot we were hunting that morning.
Very nice.
Obviously, this was much easier setup. I don't know if you can see this picture, but there were tons of gators in there.
Really?
There was one like 2 feet away from the shore early in the morning. Junior's like, "Get the fuck away," and he shot at it, which was funny. But there was tons of gators. I think we counted 5, like basically in the circle of our spread at one time. So,
yeah, there's some big gators out there.
None of them were huge, but I definitely would believe it. There was 5. It's just a little funny, like walking out there because the water right there is deep too. Like our furthest out decoy is probably like nipple high to me.
Really?
Like when I went to go pick up the decoys, I was like, if I take a wrong step here, I might get some water in my waders.
Mm-hmm.
So the water's fairly deep right there. But the only thing that came in the spread was a coot, which your brother and I shot because we were fucking bored.
I'm not above shooting coots.
And your brother kind of just fucked with it the rest of the day, which is hilarious.
He did. What?
He was just fucking with the coot the rest of the day. He was like holding it, like looking at it, like.
Oh.
Junior and I would be laughing at him, like, you know, your brother would say, like, at least I can shoot or something, because we gave him credit for the kill.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at Junior, like, at least I don't shoot fucking coots. And then Junior would die laughing. So It was fun. I was just sitting in the chair right there too. Like I wasn't sitting in the marsh, which actually was comfortable. I had no problem. The 2 days we were hunting, like where I was sitting, worked out beautifully, I would say.
Very good.
So we didn't really shoot nothing. So then we just kind of fucked around the rest of Monday, and I ended up leaving like 1 or 2 o'clock after we finished cleaning all those birds. Actually, after we did this hunt, we drove over to pick up Clement to go get breakfast, and Clement was running the tractor on this piece of property. He's got 2 ponds on. And these teal, when we were driving by, were getting up from one pond and flying to the other. And then if we drive by the other pond, they'd get up and fly by the other. And Junior's like, we should try to come fucking shoot these boys. So we go back to the house, grab our shotguns, and then your brother and I walk to one pond that the teal are not sitting on. And then your brother and I are just laying down on the ground because there's no cover with our shotguns. And then Junior drives over there and scares up the teal. And then the teal get up, come to the other pond, and they must have fucking sensed our presence because they landed on the far other side of the pond.
Hello? Whoa, I cannot hear you anymore.
Hello?
Oh, there you are.
Sorry.
They landed on the far side of the pond.
Landed on the far side of the pond. Your brother was like, fuck it, just shoot at them. So we just shot at them, which we weren't going to hit them. They were too far. But did that, and then we went and got breakfast with Clement. And, yeah, I had a good time. Just listening to Clement and Junior talk is a fucking show of itself.
Yeah.
Those boys like to fuck around. We walk into a Mexican restaurant, it's like 10 o'clock or something. And we walk in, and Clement's like to the whole restaurant, basically. Is it too early to drink? It's MLK Day. I think Martin Luther would want us to have a beer. God, it was funny. But, yeah, I had a blast. I love it down there. It's fun, man. It's fun. I shot some ducks, drank, got into some fuckery with Clement and Junior and the boys, listened to some stories. It was this was a fun time.
Very good.
We went and drove around Clement's place like an hour before I ended up driving back to Corpus. And he has so much bayfront, it's insane. Insane. Like he was telling me there's this house like on the way to Refuge that sold for $1.1 million. And based on the amount of acreage that house has, Clement's property's got to be worth $10 million.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking insane. Your brother was telling me his family owns like basically all this land. Like it's all cousins and uncles and nephews and stuff. Yeah. Like that spot where you're hunting, this lake, actually isn't even technically his deeded property. It's like his cousins or something. So he's definitely got the setup. That's what I want in the future. Is that I was thinking if we could get a piece of property on Tybola, man, and get your brother to set it up for duck hunting, like, fuck.
Bee's knees.
Fuck, would that be awesome? Like, this is where we want our property.
I've been saying it for years.
Well, you're right. This is definitely where we need to get it. Either that or I need to make better friends with Clement. Like, we were talking about it at breakfast, too. He was like, Matt, what would you want to do if you wanted to, get these spots set up for duck hunting? Your brother's always like, oh, we'd dish the shoreline, get some widgeon grass from the bay, put it in the water, try to get some of the submersible aquatic vegetation and all this stuff. And I'm like, can I come? Like, what do I need to do to get in on this shit? Because I want to be a part of it for sure. Like, this is a duck killing paradise. I didn't shoot a diver the whole weekend. Not one. Everything I shot was dabblers.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. I ended up, when I cleaned them, except the shovelers, because the shovelers are just kind of fucking, as far as dabblers go, like, a little nasty. Like, their fat isn't the same color. It's not, it's like a bright orange, like a Cheeto.
Yeah, kind of yellow orange.
Right. But everything else I ended up keeping the skin on when I breasted it out. And I actually gave it all to Jackie to see if she'll cook me some duck. But
we need to say who Jackie is.
Jackie is a female that I'm talking to right now. Hanging out with. We'll say that.
That's so cute.
But she's been cooking me meals all the time, and I was like, hey, if I bring you duck, will you fucking cook this? Because she's like a really good cook.
With wild game shoes?
I brought her deer, and she made me like a deer stew Peruvian fucking thing. I don't know what it was. And it was awesome. So between that and all the other like regular meals she cooks me, like she made chili rellenos yesterday, and I was like, this is the fucking bomb. But so I brought her duck. I ended up bringing her 10 ducks worth, so 20 breasts.
Jesus.
All with skin on. So I got high hopes for how that turns out. But yeah, those spots are awesome. This is a good place to be for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a blast. I'll definitely go again next year.
10 out of 10 would do again.
10 out of 10 would do again. You got to come down and go with us.
Hopefully I have some time by that time.
That way we get three man limit.
Mm-hmm. Well, nothing really that interesting has been going on in my life. I think most interesting thing that happened is I was sitting here on my computer and Lucy's barking at something in a tree. I'm looking, and I think it must be a squirrel. So I go outside to encourage her. I want this behavior, right? And I go out there, no shoes on. It's like 30 degrees. I'm like, good job, Lucy. Good job, Lucy. Get it, Lucy. I look up in that tree, and she treated a coon in the backyard.
Hey, there you go.
That's what I'm talking about.
Now you just got to get her over her gun shyness.
Well, I mean, she doesn't care about 22s, which is what I would shoot a coon with, so. And then, so that happened, and I took all the dogs out to a public land place, and took Sarah too. She wound up just breastfeeding the whole time. But I ran the dogs, and there was this one tree. I was looking for squirrels, about the 22 and everything. I was looking for squirrels. And, walk past this tree, and I look up in this tree. I'm like, man, that looks a lot like a squirrel. And I forgot to bring my binoculars. So I shoot right next to where the squirrel is at the tree. Because, like, the squirrel is, what do you call it? Where it's like silhouetted to the sky, you know? So there's nothing behind it. So if I shoot at it and miss, I'm just having a 22 go far. So I shoot right next to it at the tree. It doesn't move. Man, that looks a lot like a squirrel. It's got those squirrel ears, a squirrel head, squirrel body.
Looks like a squirrel.
It looks like a squirrel, but it's not moving. Like, this is just a really smart squirrel. Just like hugging this branch. So I get a log and I throw it, and it's not a very good throw. It doesn't move. I get a bigger log and I throw it, and it's a pretty good throw. It still doesn't move. It just wasn't a squirrel. It looked so much like a squirrel. But it wasn't.
What was it?
It just wasn't a squirrel. It was just a squirrel-shaped wood.
Part of the tree?
Yeah. And that's about all I got. That's a Neil guy right there, boy.
Yeah, you got these pictures pulled up?
Yep. Oh, whoa. There's a bunch of pictures.
Yeah, okay. I've just bombarded pictures.
There's a widgeon.
That is a gadwall.
Do you have a gadwall?
So your brother was telling me that this is a pretty rare gadwall because of the coloring on his head. And then the black collar.
Mm-hmm.
Like he said, this is the equivalent of a storm widgeon for gadwall.
Wow, you gonna mount it?
Yes, I saved it to mount it, and then I looked it up. We looked at pictures, and I was like, "Oh hell yeah, you're right. This is actually like, it's not perfect, but it like we were talking about. It's probably the closest I'll ever get to perfect."
Mm-hmm.
So I kept that to mount it. The second picture is my dad shot a nail guy this weekend while I was duck hunting.
And he does got a beard going on.
Oh, dude, I'll take a picture this weekend. I've convinced him to not shave it till the season's over. His head shape is like different. Like his beard is huge right now.
He looks older in this picture.
Probably because his beard's getting gray.
Maybe.
He's 47 now. Turned 47 December 1st. But so I didn't tell this during my original telling of the story, but me and Matt were out there the first hunt, which was Saturday morning. I'm texting with Dad. His dad had decided to go hunt at the property this weekend while I was duck hunting.
Mm-hmm.
And he was sitting in the blind with my mama because she went. And I was texting him like, yeah, we're all set up waiting for shooting light. And my dad's like, yeah, I'm in the blind with your mom. He sends me a picture with him and my mom is frowning. And my dad's like, she's annoying me. She won't stop talking and keeps moving. And I was like, yeah, okay, they're probably not going to have a successful hunt. And I put my phone back in my waders. And I was talking to your brother before we started shooting. And I basically told him what I think I said on the last podcast, or I was talking to you about recently, which was how we were setting up for Nail Guy, how we were getting Nail Guy on camera and how we've been trying to set up for it. And I remember distinctively looking over at your brother, Matt, and I go, if he shoots a Nail Guy this week, I'm going to be pissed. Be pissed. Because for those of you who don't know, this is my dad's second Nail Guy. He shot a bull, which is hanging up in our fucking living room on New Year's Eve, like 4 years ago or something like that. But anyway, so obviously the hunt continues. I'm not talking to my dad because I'm duck hunting. And then about like 10 o'clock, my dad texts me. He's like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I'm out in the marsh with Matt. What do you mean?" He's like, "I might need you to come get me." I'm like, "What's going on?" He's like, "I shot a nail guy." I go, "Motherfucker! I can't believe you shot another fucking nail guy." And what had happened was he had not brought the trailer with him. So it was just my mom and my mom's like SUV kind of car, like the Ford Expedition. Like there's no room for a fucking nail guy. He's like, "I might need you to come help me get this. First of all, get this out of the woods because without the trailer, we don't have the 4-wheeler, and like take it back to the processor." I'm like, "All right, just let me know. And text me later. He sends me a picture. Actually, I should probably put this fucking picture. They loaded it on like a tailgate rack, like the rack like people put their fucking
cooler
on or like their luggage when they're traveling. I guess in this picture, it's fucking hilarious. So if you scroll down to the bottom, that last picture is the. Well, I guess it just popped up. That's the picture of them. He didn't have any ratchet straps either, so he fucking tied it with rope.
A tow rope.
Tow rope. That thing weighed 400 pounds, by the way.
It's a big old girl.
30 or 40 dressed, something like that. And you can see at the processor, the guy holding it up, they're hanging it up to bring it in the freezer. Big fucking thing. Big fucking nail guy, like 100-something pounds of meat. Fucking nuts. I asked my dad while he was when he sent me that picture, I was like, "Man, what are you gonna do with all that meat?" Because we've already shot 2 deer this year. One deer, we got a bunch of like extra stuff like sausages and summer sausage and jerky and all this. And then the other deer, we literally just got the steaks and everything else in the ground. So we have like 30 pounds of fucking ground. So our freezer's well stocked right now. And he's like, "Well, I wanted some tamales, so I ended up getting 10 dozen tamales." And I was like, "Do you mean 10 tamales or like a dozen tamales? Did you type that wrong?" He's like, "No, I got 120 tamales." So there's gonna be some tamales to share for sure.
It's a lot of tamales.
Nail guy tamales. Let's see. Oh, and then there's the other picture's just me and your brother. I just wanted that on the podcast, so that's a record. I want that to pop up later when I watch this podcast.
Yeah, it's a face paint wearing, water swatting boy if I ever seen one.
It was a good day. That was a good morning. I had a blast sitting down there at Marsh with your brother shooting ducks.
Oh yeah,
it was awesome. That's also about the same time your brother got me back on dip. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a very eventful weekend. I told Dad we got there like the Sheelys kind of killed it this weekend. I got 20 duck breasts in a cooler in my car. You just shot a fucking nail guy, and the season's not even over yet.
There is more meat to come, maybe.
Well, we're gonna go deer hunting this weekend, and I think I'm just gonna shoot a doe, like just as a meat buck.
That's what I do.
Meat deer, because we have a shit ton of deer, but if we shoot another deer, we'll have 3 deer and a nail guy. That's gonna feed us like the rest of the fucking hunting year, or the rest of the year till next hunting season. I think so.
Yeah, probably so.
Probably just go shoot a doe this weekend if one comes out. We haven't shot any does this year, so I might as well shoot one.
Now, you gotta
obviously
keep
try
them
to
populations down, you know.
Right. We gotta shoot deer. That's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do. Obviously, I'm primarily looking to shoot another nail guy, but honestly, God's been on our side so far this hunting season. I don't know how he could give us another one. Like that'd be insane if we shot 2 deer, like a fairly good sized buck I shot this year, and 2 nail guy. Like that's crazy for us at least.
Well, it's not impossible, you know. They come
It's
back
not
to
impossible.
the shitting spot.
Definitely not impossible. I'd like to shoot a bull. I'd like my first one to be a bull, but I'm not gonna complain about cow either. I'm just trying to catch up to Dad at this point. Fuck. But yeah. So I'm gonna go this weekend. Try to shoot me a doe or hopefully a nail guy if I get lucky, and then weekend after that. So next weekend is the last weekend of duck season. So the tentative plan right now is having like a last weekend of duck celebration, having the gantries come down. Hopefully, we're gonna go duck hunting, have a crawfish boil, go to the beach, and do all that good stuff. I haven't had a good boil in a second, so looking forward to doing that. If you were in town, I'd invite you, but you live in a whole fucking another country.
Yeah, kind of sucks.
Yeah, so I'll probably shoot your brother and your dad an invite though. See if they want to come over.
I bet they will. Man, my dad, a few weekends ago, he was like, he was doing something with the trailer hitch and the camper. He was tightening a bolt or something. But he was pushing on that bolt, to tighten it or loose. I don't remember. He was messing with the bolt, and he's pushing on it. And then as he was pushing on it, he thought to himself, "Man, I really shouldn't be pushing this hard. If this gave way, I'd." And he smacks his head right into that trailer because the fucking ratchet broke or whatever. And so he's got this big old gash on his face.
God damn.
Oh, he looks so funny. Oh, man.
You got a picture?
Man.
No,
I don't think I do have a picture. Let me look. If I do, let me see.
I'm surprised your dad didn't want to come out with us this past weekend, but I also heard your mama just got back.
Yeah. I don't have a picture of him.
In some time. Matt was talking to him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm out here. Gavin and I just went and shot some ducks." And I didn't hear the other side of the conversation, but just Matt went like, "Yeah, Gavin. Sheely? Yeah, Sheely." Hey, all right, Tim, goddamn. How many other Gavins hunt?
Yeah, there's so many Gavins out there in the world,
Well, Gavins and ones that hunt.
True.
And are also friends with Matt.
There's a bunch of them.
Your brother's got a Rolodex, Gavin. Before he gets to me.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Man, I forgot to check that. So I had my med school interview a couple weeks ago, like my last one.
Mm-hmm.
And it was over Zoom. I don't know if we talked about this in the last one or not, but it doesn't matter. It was a fucking 5-hour-long Zoom interview.
Oh, yeah, we talked about this. Oh, no, we talked about this when we were playing games.
So I get to schedule, like, the night before what the interview is going to be like how the time is broken down,
Mm-hmm.
And what they had, like, multiple groups of people, so you got divided into group 1 through 4, and then what they did is they rotated people through each activity. So there was 4 activities. And, group 1 would do this activity at 9 o'clock, and then you would do this activity at 10 o'clock. You following me?
Mm-hmm.
So what ended up happening is, like, group 4, for instance, had their interviews at the end of the day, which must have sucked because I was group 1. So the first activity I did was my interview. So I joined the Zoom call. And another thing was weird, it started at noon, but I kind of liked that. So join the Zoom call. They do the intro. They have everybody welcome. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And then I did my interviews. Now, what I didn't like about this whole experience, other than it being 5 hours long, is that you had to hang up your Zoom call and join another Zoom call to get to your activity. Which was like a little sketch because I'm like, okay, I'm about to leave a call and join another call, but I'm hoping I connect to this call. Like, what if something weird happens in between,
Mm-hmm.
Like, just Zoom life, I guess. So I do my interviews in the very beginning. So how it works is I had 5 8-minute interviews back to back to back. So I would join the call, and then a person would be there. They'd read to me a prompt. They'd give me a minute to think about it, and then I had like 6 to 7 minutes to respond. And then once I ran out of time or finished my response, I'd move on to the next one. So I did 5 of those, which weren't bad. They were kind of like easy questions, I guess I would say. Like, one of them was like, why do you want to be a doctor? Another one's like, what kind of suffering do patients have that doesn't just relate to their illness? Something like what I conceive is like not that hard of questions. Like, I've heard some people have to answer questions like, if you were a doctor and this lady needed an abortion, but you couldn't give abortion in Texas, like, what would you do? And I'm like, oh my. So anyway, easy questions. And then the other activities, there's like a Q&A with a professor, a Q&A with students, a virtual tour, and then like a hangout session or something like that. I just remember thinking a lot of this was superfluous because, like I said, I was on that Zoom call for 5 hours, and my mind was mush at the end of it. But I don't know. I just got today the confirmation that it's been updated that I've been interviewed, and that I'm waiting now to see if I got in. So we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully, they don't hear me bitching about their 5-hour interview process.
And where was this for again?
This is for the University of North Texas in Dallas.
North Texas.
which was actually my number one school. When I was applying to these schools, it was my number one choice, and I ended up getting this interview, like getting the interview invite in early December.
Mm-hmm.
Which, for those not familiar with the med school application process, that's very late in the cycle. So I had given up hope about actually getting an invite to the school, but I got surprised with a late interview invite. So, um, but yeah, that's my number one choice. So I'm really hoping I get into this one.
Man, good luck on it.
We shall see. Appreciate it. I don't actually find out till March 3rd, which is so fucking long away. I don't know why they make you wait so long.
Because they're dicks.
Because they're dicks. Yep. Very much. I mean, I'm going to have to be a doctor if I'm going to get some Landau and Tavola. That shit's getting expensive.
More and more by the day.
Yep.
Until we have
everything's getting
economic
expensive.
collapse. But we'll see if that ever happens.
But even then, the rednecks will survive. They'll be out there in the marsh.
Oh, yeah. Country boy can survive.
So, besides your weekend with the squirrel imposter, you've just been baby duty all the time?
Been baby duty.
Post a, I want to see, you got a recent picture?
Oh, let me see what I got here.
Are you guys still doing that shifts, like every 2 hours, she's getting up to feed, or what?
Yeah, but I wound up just staying up all night, basically. So I sleep till like 1 in the afternoon while Sarah's got her, and then I get up, and then I take her at like 9 or so in the evening.
Yeah, sounds like fun.
Oh, yeah.
You know what you got to do is you got to use this as leverage against your kid for the rest of your life. I'll just give you an example. Dad, I don't want to work outside right now. Well, I had to fucking wake up to feed your ass like all the time when you couldn't survive on your own. So now you work outside.
That's right.
Sounds about exact conversation I've had with my dad. So use this as leverage use this to blackmail her for the rest of her life. That'll be good. That's why you need to tell these stories so that when she's listening to this, she's like, "Oh wow, look at all the."
There she is.
Oh, look at the baby.
Just a baby.
Oh, the baby. Yeah, she's getting a head of hair, ain't she?
Oh yeah, she's got quite a bit of hair now. She's got more hair than it looks there.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. There's 2 dogs in the background.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe y'all ended up keeping Mud. I thought you guys were gonna.
I did too. I don't know how we kept that dog. She ain't good for nothing.
You'd be a guard dog.
I guess. She's
Give
a
it some
coward.
bite training. Fuck, dude. I was watching Nelly retrieve those ducks. I was like, man, I
want a lab.
Well, we have a lab. I just want a fucking lab. I love Lucy.
Lab.
Lucy's just a house dog now, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think if I get a dog, I'll just pay to have it. Like Junior did, just pay to send it off and have it trained. Pay to do it. Plus, I probably won't have the time to fucking train it like I would want to train it.
Yeah, I mean, if you got
I know
money,
you
might as well.
You're becoming a pseudo professional dog trainer or something like that.
Something like that.
Is your life goal? You should just be a dog trainer. I'll pay you to train my dog.
I've made too many mistakes with dogs. I only got one good hunting dog.
Oh man, yeah, she got good head of hair on her.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna be a blonde baby.
Yeah, I mean, I was born blonde too, so we'll see where it goes from there. But
I mean, I would say when you had hair, you were like a dirty blonde.
I mean, it got darker and darker the older I got. But when I was born, I had blonde hair.
Yeah, my hair's getting darker as I get older too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, even though my beard is still like, I don't think it'll ever get that dark. 'Cause my eyebrows are blonde. Her eyebrows blonde.
Yeah.
She don't. Well, this is more like a wait and see kind of thing. How she ends up, because my mama was blonde too, and she's brunette now. So.
Yeah.
But your mom's
my hair's dark
blonde.
now.
Plus, did Sarah have blonde hair as a baby?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She might turn out like Sarah then.
Yeah. As long as she doesn't turn out like me. Poor girl.
Yep. I mean, we'll love her all the same, but, we'll have to give her like a blue collar job.
Oh, and you can kind of see, look at her ear. She's got like a little bit of an elf ear going on. And it's only on one ear. It's kind of funny.
This year, like it's pointed a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And she's got a birthmark kind of above her eye. I don't know.
So that's still there, huh? I remember you telling me
Yeah.
shortly after she was born about it. But
Let's see if I can find a picture of it. Yeah, you can kind of see it in this picture here.
oh yeah, sure enough. Did you ask the doctor about it?
No. I mean, he said it's like a birthmark or whatever.
Look at them eyes.
Might stay, might not.
She got blue eyes?
Yeah,
Green eyes?
well, all babies are born with blue eyes.
They are?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Over time, they'll change color. Maybe hers will, maybe they won't. She could be blue-eyed.
What color is Sarah's eyes?
Hazel. And I got, like, hazel eyes, too, but, you know, my mom's eyes are blue. And Sarah's dad's eyes are blue, so that's how she would get blue eyes.
Genetics are funny, man. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like I can just look at pieces of relatives and say, like, oh, that part, that part. Yeah.
Yeah, there was actually pretty good odds that she turns out blonde hair, blue-eyed.
Hey, welcome to the club, Isabella.
That Aryan
We're starting a club.
perfection. That club's been started a long time ago.
Not like that club. Different club. Different club. We're under different management. Different. Not that club.
That's funny.
No, it's better than the fucking brown hair, brown-eyed club. That's just the rest of the fucking world.
What's wrong with that?
You gotta be different. You gotta set yourself
You got
apart.
the majority.
Well, if there's a war between the eye and hair color people, we're definitely gonna lose. Although we almost won the first time, so.
You had a bunch of not blonde hair, blue-eyed people there, though.
Is that your mama?
Yeah, that's my mom.
Look at her. Look at her. She's in a camo shirt already.
Mm-hmm.
Starting off young. That's how you're supposed to do it.
Man, I put her in camo every chance I get.
Gotta get used to the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe y'all have 3 dogs and a kid.
No, there's no room.
That's.
Old Lucy's
You let them sleep on the
getting
bed,
old.
huh?
Not when she's in her crib. Or
How
whatever
old's
it's
Lucy
called.
now?
How old is Lucy? I don't know. 12 or something? I can never remember. But her hips are not good anymore.
Yeah, dude. My Lucy's 13. Her hips are fucking trash now.
She'll be limping
I don't
around
know.
the house everywhere. But when we get out to run, she gets it. You know, you can't tell. But as soon as
She's-
we get back
yeah.
home, she's like, oh.
She's gotta get them warm. Like, she warms them up, and then she gets stiff after, you know?
Yeah.
Just like an old person would with bad hips, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Poor girl.
I don't know how much longer our Lucy's gonna be around. She can barely fucking walk now. But she's doing all right for 13. I mean, shit, the oldest Chocolab I ever seen is my grandpa's, and she was 16 when she died.
That's pretty old for a dog.
She was fucking retrieving like a year before she died.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. That's what a good dog will do you.
Mm-hmm.
They will die out there for that dog.
For real, though. Point dogs will do that, too. They'll run themselves to death looking for a quail or whatever.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Nez would run herself to death. I ran her all day long one time on a woodcock hunt. I mean hard. All day long. And you could never tell she was tired. And then we got back, and she went into her kennel, and I fed her. And she wouldn't come out of the kennel anymore. Like, Nez, what's wrong with you? So I kind of like pulled her out a little bit, and she would just cry. All of her, she was just completely stove up, you know.
Yeah.
And next morning, it was time to hunt. She's ready to go.
It's probably a good attribute. Good and bad, I guess.
She.
Good attribute of a good bird dog. The only thing I'll say about Nellie is she was kind of like hesitant about cripples. Like they're flapping around and everything. She'd like put it in her mouth and like drop it again and then put it in her mouth. She was fucking. Matt was kind of pissed that she was dropping it, and she's like, "Come on, fucking Nellie, let's go!" Like she was mad. The next duck Nellie went to go get, she fucking took her sweet ass time to go get it, dude. She's just fucking walking around. She stopped halfway back to take a piss. She's just like fucking trouncing, like up and down, walking super slow with that duck. She's like, You fucking need me, bozo. Don't talk shit. So that was funny. Should have taken a video of that. That was horrible. That dog had an attitude.
I got me some new
Bad
boots.
attitude. What kind?
These are my dad boots.
Oh, it's the same boots I got.
What?
Are these Red Wings?
No, they're Thoroughgood.
Oh, no way. I was thinking about getting a pair of those.
Yeah.
I ain't shown you mine yet.
No. I love mock toes.
Fucking. Picture of my foot.
I mean, I'm still breaking these ones in, but they look so nice. I don't want them to look so nice. I want them rough and rugged, like me.
Well, I got these, and then like the week after, we went to Arizona, and I got red clay all up on them, and they're still stained.
Good.
Photo. Where's this? Yeah, I wanted to get a pair of Red Wings for a while, so I waited till
that's what
Thanksgiving,
I'm talking about.
Black Friday. I've been wearing these a lot lately. This is basically my everyday shoe now. These and cowboy boots, pretty much. That's all I wear. I like yours.
Yeah, I wear these every day. And before these,
you got the same color I do too.
I think mine are a little lighter.
Yeah, I think they are too.
Yeah, just a little darker.
But great minds think alike.
Oh yeah.
There you
go.
I think Thoroughgoods are supposed to be better, but
they're supposed to be good boots. Especially like this mock toe specifically. I did quite a bit of research on it, honestly. And before this, I had bought a pair of whites, which are like, those are the boot. You know what I'm talking about? Nicks and whites are like the boot. But I ordered it wrong, and they were like a little small, like a little tighter than I wanted. Like they were a perfect fit, but I want my boot to be a little bit loose so I can wear them like not laced.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I lace them up, but I leave it really, really loose, and I tie a knot on the inside so I can just slip them on just when I'm using these house shoes.
I got you.
Yeah, and they were just a little tight for that, but I bought them when they're on sale, so I couldn't buy them again when I had the money to buy them. But these will do.
When did you get these?
Right. A few weeks ago. Probably. Let's see. I don't know when was this picture taken.
I like him.
You got the 6-inch or the 8-inch? Mine are 6-inch.
6-inch?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
I don't remember if Red Wing made an 8-inch. I feel like it was just 6.
I like the way 8 inches looks better, but for the slip-on purposes, they can't be 8-inch for me. But
yeah, those are nice. I like my mock toes for sure. Like, I'll probably wear these every day for however long, and then I'll just buy another pair.
January 4th. That's when I bought those boots. Or got the boots.
I've had mine for a couple. Yeah, it was kind of an experience buying these. Like you probably got yours online.
Mm-hmm.
So I went into the Red Wing store in Corpus to buy these. Yeah. And it's like getting a suit fitting.
Oh yeah.
They had like this machine I walked across, and then it like read my shoe size and did all this shit. And then she like I was looking at the specific mock toes I wanted, like the color scheme and everything. I was looking at them like I would a normal shoe store. And the lady comes out, I was like, hey, I'm looking to get a pair of these. And she's like, oh, okay, follow me. And I was like, you don't need to know my size or like what, any of this. And she's like, fucking do all this stuff on this machine. I was like, all right, do all this stuff on the machine. And she's like, okay, sit down. They got like leathery chairs. And I sit down and she brings the shoes out and try them on and walk across. So I guess they have a regular fit and then a wide fit.
Yeah, I'm a wide fit. I'm double E.
Yeah, I'm a wide fit too. So. Yeah.
Did you walk around barefoot when you were a kid a bunch?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I did, and that's when my feet are kind of wide.
I mean, growing up at the beach, we probably just I didn't wear shoes for days at a time.
Yeah, I walked around barefoot all the time, even like on the rocks in my front yard. I don't know if I could do it anymore, but I mean, I could run on anything.
Yeah, I'd do it now. Shit.
Yeah.
Walk around those exact rocks in your front yard. I just walk around them. Walk through them. Yeah. I still haven't bought my plane ticket, but I have not forgot. I'm going to my plane ticket to come visit you.
Well, you better hurry up.
Still haven't bought it. I have not forgotten. I'm going to get on it shortly.
I got a spot where I know there's squirrels. The only problem is you can only use you might be able to use a 12 gauge, but Definitely a 410, but you can't shoot single projectiles at this place. But I know there's a bunch of squirrels here. And every other place I go to, I don't see as many squirrels where you can shoot a 22. But we'll see.
Interesting.
We'll see.
Kind of a strange rule.
Can't shoot a 22?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, especially for this spot. I mean, I kind of understand because there are some houses around this place, but
so fucking, I'll pepper those houses. That's not gonna protect them. Shit, we got peppered on Saturday. That, like I told you, the groups, that middle group shot at ducks towards us, and your brother and I were sitting there, and they just started raining.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, you can use a shotgun, but you cannot use a 22. No. Yeah. Correct. So,
yeah. Right.
So you wouldn't be peppering somebody with a 22.
No, I'm saying with the shotgun. Like,
Yeah,
I'll pepper their fucking house with a shotgun.
Oh yeah, no, well, it depends on how far away I live.
They're worried about the 22 coming down and killing somebody, or are they worried about somebody getting peppered?
No, they're worried about the 22 smacking somebody.
Yeah.
Which is fair. There's idiots out there.
Just fucking walk it off. It's 22.
public. It's public. Well, I mean, through their window or hit their dog or who knows what.
Nah, fuck. That dog deserved it. No, it makes. It's just, because there's houses around. That's why when I have private property, I don't have to worry about that shit.
Okay, look, you can use a shotgun no larger than a 10 gauge. So,
What the fuck am I whipping out a 10 gauge for?
I don't know.
Shooting
Shotgun
fucking
magazine cut off or plugged to reduce the capacity of no more than 3 shells in the magazine.
Yeah, everybody's got that though. I think all guns just come with that, don't they? At least hunting shotguns.
Yeah, hunting shotguns for sure. Well, most of them do.
The last couple I've all came plugs in already. Man, I gotta pee so bad. Are we close to an hour? I gotta pee.
We are at an hour and 1 minute right now. I was just reading these rules real quick. It looks like all right.
Well, I'll bring a 10 gauge with.
You have
fucking no, I don't have a 10 gauge.
I don't know why I said you have. I know you don't know. Nobody owns a 10 gauge. Only freaks own 10 gauges.
Like people from the Revolutionary War. Like my ancestors killed the British with this fucking blunderbuss. 10 gauge is crazy.
Well, I'm lonesome but happy.
Well, I had a good time catching up. I'm glad we did this. You guys read the stories. Is music playing already? Should I start screaming?
It's on. It's probably
Welcome
louder
to
than we are right now.
I'll talk to you later.
Cheyenne to Douglas.